Hey, this is Chadillac with another CRP Burst Live. I'm here to talk to you today about a really controversial issue that's going on right now with Matt Hughes. The guy suffered a head injury from a train accident in October of 2017, and he's now been taken to court. They put a restraining order on him. Both his wife, which I think is soon to be his ex-wife, and his twin brother Mark have issued restraining orders against him. I believe that restraining order with his brother reaches out to defend his kids, which would be Matt's nephews as well, based on an incident where Matt tried to drag the nephew off of a tractor that there was a misunderstanding on the farm. We're going to get into all of this, is what this amounts to. And we're going to talk a lot more about it and get into great detail about this and what's really going on. I feel like, personally, that Matt has been given a really raw deal on this and that people are not understanding exactly what's happening. I don't think they understand, and maybe how could they understand what's happening with somebody who has a traumatic brain injury. And a lot of people are blaming this on fighting, and that something happened to him through fighting, and that because of fighting he's become violent through the first symptoms of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, which is not the case. Matt was not a person who was probably going to suffer chronic traumatic encephalopathy. We'll call that CTE from here on out to save time and voice. He had not really ever sustained that many blows to the head. All fighters sustain blows to the head. Wrestlers sustain a lot of blows to the head too. But wrestlers sustain a lot less blows to the head than do strikers. For obvious reasons, they don't take as many punches. And Matt, being a great wrestler that he was, sustained even less blows to the head. So I don't think that that's something that we can bring up and say, well, all of this started long before Matt ever was involved in the train accident. In fact, all my inside sources tell me that that was not the case at all, and that in fact Matt was very much a loving, caring husband and father in every way that he could be. There are some discrepancies here and there, but he without sin casts the first stone. We've all made our mistakes and done things good and bad in life. So, the guy's not a saint, and I'm not trying to say that he is, but I'm also trying to express the idea that he's not this rabid, insane wife beater and somebody who's completely out of control, but he does have a severe head injury from being hit by a train. He was driving in East Illinois about 10 o'clock in the morning, crossing over a railroad tracks and didn't see the train. Out there are no train, no stops, no flashing lights, none of that out in the country. And he was hit by a train on the passenger side of his four-wheel drive truck. He was in a coma. They did everything they possibly could, and he nearly died. They did manage to keep him alive. They had to cut a chunk of his skull out to relieve pressure because he had what's called a closed head brain injury, which makes it much, much worse. And so we're going to get into all of this and talk about this, but I felt like it was necessary for us to go ahead and say something now before we have all our guests lined up and we do all the editing and the things like that take place to actually get a full produced show out about what's really going on here, because this is something that we take serious. And in my own life, I'm affected by it because my son has a traumatic brain injury. And so I live with it every day. And being this close to it, it's taken me a while to actually come out and have the nerve to talk about it publicly. So we are going to be doing something on the Cage Rage podcast on this very soon, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I was looking through some old files, and I thought you guys might find these kind of funny or interesting or whatever. Here's a picture back when the UFC, when I still had press passes. This is Matt after defeating, this may have been when he defeated Frank Trigg. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think right there on that corner is probably Trevor Prangley. Hi, Trevor. How you doing, brother? Haven't seen you in a long time. But here's the funny one, guys. Look at Uncle Dana. Look at Uncle Dana back here. He almost has hair. He's probably 40 pounds lighter. We've all aged. Gray beard. And I'm definitely more than 40 pounds heavier than I was when that picture was taken, I assure you. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this CRP Burst. We appreciate everything. Hey, smash that button. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Share this with everybody. We can't do this without your support. We're gaining like crazy, and we're putting out massive amounts of content, and people are responding. We know that you guys love what we're doing. We appreciate it very much, and we're sending out as much love as we're getting back in. Till